Okay. All right. All right. And how are you?
I'm holding up, I'm maintaining. It's been good stuff happening. It's slowly, but it's all coming together. Because I think when we first started talking, it was probably like maybe a year or so ago when we started talking about this project. And I kind of got discouraged. I was like, it's not happening.
Oh
But
no.
no, but I had to get creative and not think about it the traditional way. Especially when you're doing a documentary and then also with everybody's schedules being different and being in different locations and stuff like that. So, but it's coming along. It is coming
It
along, and
is coming
yeah,
along. I've
I'm
been
happy.
watching the series.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm happy. I'm so happy. And just the love mostly from the younger generation, from us.
Hmm.
We're very gun-ho about this. We're serious about it.
I know. I
And
love it. I'm loving the
yeah,
energy.
yeah. And the it's at the point where the elders they gonna just have to sit back and listen because we're not playing games no more. So it's
Hmm.
a good
And
thing.
some of them are. Most of them
Yeah,
are like. It's a lot of them that like want to be on board, and they're already on board. So like,
yeah,
I'm very excited. I'm very
yeah.
glad you. I'm very glad you guys are still doing this.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. One of my girlfriends, she sent me a message this morning. I was giving her updates. She's like, when you get your teeth sunk in some stuff, you keep. I said, this is for the culture, baby. I said, they gonna know who Chicago is,
That's
seriously.
right.
Yes, indeed. So how are you doing? Have been following your journey and the ups and downs and everything, but you're looking good.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I had a it was very unexpected. I had a spinal cord stroke back in January 15th.
Mhm.
Um yeah, I was in the ICU for 2 weeks, paralyzed um from the chest down. But I'm happy to report that since then, I've gained a lot of my mobility back.
Okay.
Um, at first I couldn't move, like I couldn't move my like as you can see, like my hand is still like still can't move my hands, but we're working on them. I can move them a little bit, as you can see.
Okay.
I couldn't even do this. I can move my arms, my neck, my chest. So like I've been in rehabilitation for about almost 3 months now.
Okay.
So I am gaining a lot of my mobility back. But it's like it's slow and steady.
Okay.
But I'm very thankful, more than thankful that it looks like I'm gonna be up and back moving very soon. So
That's a good thing. So we
yay.
want to hit because we got some work to do, ma'am.
Okay.
We got some work to do,
Okay,
seriously.
we just getting started. Okay, come on.
We doing this, for the ones that come in after us,
You
and
know?
they gonna need these stories, seriously.
Yeah, and I just want to I just want to do something different than what I've been indoctrinated into. Like coming up, it's been really difficult. Like thankfully I have ran into like individuals that are like older that actually do want to help, that do want to like help usher in like this new generation of blues artists. I've been fortunate enough to come across like those very few individuals, but like I want to, you know what I'm saying, like in 20 30 years, maybe even less, I want to be one of those people that get excited when I see somebody young
Yeah,
wanting to like further the culture and want to participate and want to partake and want to pick up the torch and carry it. Like I don't want to be one of those people that feel like they didn't make it far enough and now the younger generation coming in trying to stomp on their territory or whatever the
yeah,
case may be. Like I want to be one of those people that are like so solidified in my position that once the young people come along, like I can send the ladder back down with confidence,
Yeah.
and help them out, and like help maybe like learn a couple things from them.
Right? Seriously. Seriously.
Yeah, so I feel like this project is a really good place to just like start that foundation
Mhm.
and build
Yeah.
a network full of people that actually want to perpetuate the good things, and like, and just like before we know it, we are going to be the older generation. And I
Yeah.
feel like right now we're planting those roots, because there's going to be younger people, like, you know what I'm saying, they're in grade school right now, they're in high
Hmm.
school right now, but like they're gonna at one day soon they're gonna be ready to like step into the circle
Right.
and do what we're doing. And like I just want to be in a place where I'm gonna be happy to help.
Right. Yeah, because it's really interesting to see because we're the aunties now. We're the ones in the
Okay.
in the in the community that they
Yes.
are looking to. So you said a lot with just saying, but the fact of wanting to be graceful about the transition and handing the baton over to them. So I'm with you on that one. I'm wholeheartedly with you on that one. And I know that we talked about this when we first sat down and did some preliminary shootings and stuff like that. But for those of folks that don't know, tell me your blues origin story. How did you get into the blues thing?
Yes. So I started out in church years ago. My grandmother used to take me to choir rehearsal since the age of 5, and I have a very interesting relationship with the blues music. I was raised in like a very strict Baptist background, so it was nothing but church music. And of course, I was exposed to like R&B, hip hop. It was the 90s, all that good stuff
Right.
aunties used to listen to, um, when we weren't sitting on the pews. But for the most part, anything that wasn't gospel music was considered blues,
Mhm.
and anything that was blues was not of God. It wasn't good. So I grew up with a different perspective of blues music. And what got me interested in it was, when I graduated from high school and I started my college career, I just got curious about what else was out there in the world. So I started going to different open mics.
Okay.
I started street performing. And that's actually how I met my ex-husband. And we would street perform together. And he gave me this really thick book of song lyrics. And he's like, here, if you learn all these songs, you're going to get all the tips, I guarantee you. And most of those songs were like blues songs, like
Okay.
a lot of like the standards, like Mustang Sally, Wang Dang Doodle, um, Thrill Is Gone, a bunch of stuff like that. And so that's how I started learning about blues music. Is I just got exposed to it,
Mhm.
and I just got thrown into it, really. And then like the more I started learning these songs, the more I started realizing that they're not very different from the gospel songs that I used to sing in church. Like, everything from like the musicality was so common, the way it was written, the emotions that came out of the lyrics, um, very, very similar to gospel music. And now I understand how blues was born from gospel music, because it's very soulful.
Mhm.
Um, it talks about pain, it talks about pleasure, it talks about love and then losing love. It talks about poverty, it talks about overcoming everything that like these problems bring along. Like, when I started singing blues music, it almost, and I know that this might be a very controversial statement, so forgive me, y'all, if y'all don't understand what I'm trying to say, but it almost feels like when I'm singing blues, it almost feels like I'm singing gospel. Um,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yes, because of just that soul connection
Mhm.
that I have when I sing it. It's something that I don't have when I'm singing other genres, which isn't to say like I don't feel connected when I'm singing other things, but when I'm singing the blues music, it's something that I'm pulling from the inside of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and it's something that uh it's something that um I mean nobody can take away really.
Mhm.
It's something that's a part of me.
No, you made a very powerful statement, and that's I couldn't agree with you wholeheartedly. Because being on stage, and I've sung other genres and all that. I sung gospel, I sung R&B, blue, but that connection when I'm singing blues and everything else is blocked out, is just me on the stage just singing. I don't hear nothing else. I don't see nothing else. It's like that soul connection. I
Facts.
understand. Yes, I understand. So let me ask you this: with the years that you've been doing this, so what year was this that you started?
Um, I started I started blues music, I want to say around 2006.
Okay.
I
Okay.
started singing blues music. Um, and I got we were in the subway like a lot. I wasn't in the subway as much as Keithan was, but I was in
Okay.
the subway with him a lot. And
Okay.
we just so happened to be performing down there at a time where a couple of the booking, like one of the talent booking people from House of Blues, came up to us and they were like, "Hey, we're doing a street performer showcase at House of Blues. Does your band want to be a part of it?" And of course, we said yeah. And we did the street performer showcase, and then from there, Keithan got uh, a residency at House of Blues, and that's kind of how we got flipped into the blues scene. That's kind of how we. That's kind of like the tipping point of both of our careers. We
Okay.
got at the House of Blues, and then from the House of Blues, we started getting into like different venues around the suburbs. Like I started getting my own gigs, and we've just been really just working the scene and circuit since then.
Okay. So that's going on next year. That'll be 20 years. You said 2006. That's wild.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
wild.
a lot of people think because like since then, I would say like my career tipped again once I started singing at Buddy Guy's Legends.
Mhm.
But that's kind of when people really started hearing about me. And so, like, a lot of people are under the impression that I've only been doing this for 3 years. So, I want to set the record straight because a lot of
Okay.
people haven't met me before, like, the past, like, 3 or 4 years. But I've been in this for a minute.
Okay.
A lot of your favorite musicians, I put them on. A
Okay.
lot of your favorite sidemen, I gave them their first job.
Okay.
Um, like like but I don't like to brag about those things, but I do want to just like kind of just like set the record straight. Like
Mhm.
I'm not new to this, I'm true to this.
Right. No, I love the fact that you're putting it out there, and if somebody want to argue, they can argue with their mammy on it.
They really can.
But but
Okay.
no, I one of the main things also through this project for me that I want to emphasize, and is when I was talking to Miss Laretha during her interview, and we were talking about big time Sarah, and
Yeah.
I want to emphasize the women, because there's often too many times that the women are the ones putting people on and not getting the credit for it. So go ahead and give yourself your flowers, girl.
Okay. Okay. And I want to give a shout out to Miss Laretha too. She's definitely one of the people that I look up to. So like, hi Laretha. She's just been so she's been so encouraging and she's just been so supportive every step of the way. Like she will give you advice.
Yeah,
If you just feeling down about something, she'll lift you up. She'll
yeah.
give you advice. You know what I'm saying? Like she'll you know, she hugs you, she very accepting, she makes you
Yeah,
feel welcome, you know, just she's just always a she's just a bright spot
she
um
is.
in the blues community. So
Yeah.
I really want to give Miss Laretha Weathersby her flowers while she's still here,
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
to the public, you know what I'm saying, and not just behind closed doors, because it's really hard to find a mentor
Yeah.
in this circle. It can be really just really tough.
Yeah.
um, but like she is one of the people, in my opinion, who's just doing it the right way, and
Yeah.
I think that that's why she's as loved and as famous as she is, because
Yeah.
she's doing it from a place that the blues really comes from.
Definitely. I love the fact when I first sat down and talked to her, and we was just, shooting the breeze and everything. And I wanted to get to know her before I turned the camera on and started talking with her. But you're right. She was an amazing heart, spirit. And I was like, they gonna listen to you. I said, we need some women out there that's gonna mentor us and tell us what pull our coattails when we need to. But she's amazing. I love her. She's a dear heart. So yeah, you're correct on that. So in your experiences of being in the scene and you've traveled to other countries and been on several different stages, what would you say that Chicago has that of all the places you've been they don't have? What separates Chicago?
I would say the raw talent. No shade to any of the places I've been, but one thing that I've noticed is they watch us very, very, very closely. And not in a bad way, but like they kind of look to us as Chicago. They look to Chicagoans as the Mecca, even though I don't know, I don't know, some people can argue that it is, but from my experience, they kind of look to Chicago and Chicagoans as like the epicenter or the mecca of like of blues music. Like when they talk about Chicago, the first thing that they talk about are the blues artists, both deceased and still here. They really talk about like how much raw talent comes out of Chicago,
Mhm.
and how much they want to get to Chicago to kind of like be immersed in that influence. Yeah, like I noticed that like they really look up to us in a way that they don't really look up to other cities. And no shade to those other cities, but one
Right,
thing I
right.
noticed is like yeah, yeah, like they look to Chicago as like that place.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't know, like, you know, like the explosion of like trap music, you know, you think of Atlanta, or like the explosion of like of Broadway musicals, you think of New York City.
Hmm.
But yeah, like they're truly in love with like the culture that Chicago and Chicago musicians bring.
Okay. That's good to know. Good to hear it. Because I mean, I would say that I'm biased, period. I love my Chicago. I rep Chicago anywhere I go. So I'm like, we are that shit.
We
So no.
already know.
So this is I have one last question for you because we're gonna come back and do
Yeah,
this. We're gonna come back and do this again.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
where you are now, so it's coming up on 20 years in the industry. How knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would do or have done that you would do a little bit differently?
Yeah. Um, I wouldn't like hindsight's always 2020, right?
Right.
I wouldn't have stopped.
Okay.
We're coming up on 20 years because I made the decision to stopped doing music for a very long time. Like I'm 40 years old. Oops, low battery, my bad. Can you still see me? Okay.
Yeah.
I just turned 40 in December. But I did stop for a period of time because honestly, like I can make excuses and say, oh, I needed to go to school, or oh, I wanted to start a family. And I did do those things, but
Okay.
the main reason that I stopped doing music is because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe
Yeah.
in the I didn't believe in the purpose that God had for my life, which was to touch people through music. It's a
Yes.
gift that he passed on to me through my grandmother.
Yeah.
Um, and music is my legacy, and music is my purpose. And for a very long time, years, I didn't believe that. I felt like I didn't know who I was because I believe that, number one, I didn't believe that I can make it in life doing music, which I recently proved to myself that's a lie. Um, and I just didn't really have the confidence that I have now. And had I just stuck to my guns, there's no telling where I would be right now. But I'm grateful that it's not too late. I'm grateful that, like, I finally like snapped out of it and really just leaned into uh what God has planned for me. And ever since like I leaned into the music has also been leaning into me and taking care of me. And that would be the one thing that I would do differently is just like not stop. And so like, and I guess that's where a lot of my fight comes from now because I have stopped. Like I've tried to stop myself and I still can't stop. So it's like I really doubt if someone else can stop me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't hear. I think you muted.
I
There you
muted
go.
myself, girl. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
was saying that even where you are right now with the pause that you're having, it's I think a reset because you're gonna jump off into something way bigger. And one of the things that I've realized, even with music, and I know you could probably relate this to this, we are our worst critics, we are our worst enemies, and so much stuff. But the healing power that's in music, I'm sure even what you're going through right now, music is healing you through all of it, and it's resetting your
Absolutely.
system. So I look forward to when you're gonna be walking and jumping on that stage again and doing your thing,
It's
because
coming, girl.
it's
I
coming.
cannot
It's
wait.
coming. Because
I I got me
yeah.
moving and grooving in my wheelchair. It's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I first had my stroke 3 months ago, I was devastated. Um, I was devastated. I had planned to because I sing with Rick King and the Royal Hustle, and we had this trip that we had planned for a year. We had this gig down in the Florida Keys, which they still went, but I wasn't able to go with them.
Right.
I was devastated. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't even know if I was going to survive. But what I did know, the reason I was devastated because I didn't know if I would be able to do music again.
Right.
And I prayed every night. And, I was like, God, if this is your will for my life, then I'll accept it. But if you give me another chance, like I'm I'm gonna turn this music thing around. But like for a minute, I didn't even know if I was gonna do music again. And it's music, it's really music that's saving me, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, you know. Like I've hooked up with like musicians here,
Awesome.
they've even asked me to like start singing here at my rehab
Oh,
facility.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. And like I met the I want to make sure I'm saying it right. I met the president of the Omaha Blues Society.
Oh,
Um
wow.
yeah, and so like it's just God really works in mysterious ways.
That it
Um
does.
and it's just like I just feel like if it's in you, it's gonna always find you. Like music,
Mhm.
like I feel like no matter how removed I might feel from music, music always finds a way to like come back to me
Yes.
and
Yeah.
finds me. And so like I sometimes like I'm really learning right now to just like trust the process, because
Mhm.
sometimes like you can't lean to your own understanding as much as you want to. You can't lean into your own understanding. And like I'm very headstrong and I'm a control freak, and experience this is the first experience in my life where I've lost complete control of
Yeah.
everything, and I had no choice but to trust the process. And I now that I'm healing in a way that is giving me a lot of hope, I love music that much more because music has not left my side. I've lost friends
Mhm.
through this ordeal. I've lost people that I thought was going to be in my life forever. But the one thing that I have not lost yet
It's the music.
is the music.
Yeah.
And as loyal as music is to me, I feel like I have to be loyal right back.
Yeah. Yeah. See, on that note, because you're gonna start with another word and start tearing it up and preaching up in here. But no, you are certainly on point. And like I said, I look forward to when you back on that stage and jumping and doing your dancing and singing out of your soul, because
I
we
can't
need it.
wait.
We need it. We need it. We need it. And it's gonna be even more beautiful because of what you've come through and what you're
Hey,
doing.
I might
So
even start back while I'm still in this chair. You
hey,
never
go
know.
ahead with go ahead. Cause they
They're
need
gonna have to get a little wheelchair ramp at up at the Blues Fest real quick, you know.
right. But no, it was so wonderful seeing your face and seeing your smile. You looking beautiful. And
Thank
I'm
you.
so
So
happy
are
for you.
you, Dr.
I'm
Mosley.
so
I
happy for
really
you.
appreciate that you're doing this. This is a wonderful platform that you're building for us. Just like just another way to like usher in the next generation
Yeah.
while giving the current generation their flowers. I love it. I love it. Thank you for having me a part of this, really, truly.
I'm gonna see you again. We're gonna do it again.
Yes.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, girl.
You too. Have a good day. I'll talk to you
Uh,
soon.
okay, bye-bye.
Baby, tell me, can you